Bismillah, salatu salam ala Rasulullah. Tonight is the 26th Rabi al-Thani. We're in the book Kitab Tawheed by Muhammad
I can't help you every time.
I know. We're in chapter 60, lesson number 61. The one who denies the Qadr, defined decree. Muslim reported that Ibn Umar said, by him, Allah, in whose hand is the soul of Ibn Umar, if anyone possessed gold amount to Uhud mountain and spent it all in the cause of Allah, Allah would not accept it unless he believes in Qadr, defined decree. Then he cited as evidence the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Iman belief is to believe in 1, Allah, 2, his angels, 3, his revealed books, 4, his messengers, 5, the day of resurrection, and Al-Qadr, divine preordainments, and the good and the bad of it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. The chapter 1, we have started already with it, chapter 60, what is being revealed regarding the denial of the Qadr. Qadr, we said, the destiny, the destiny, the ordainment, taqdeerullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had ordained in His ilm. And we said that the link of this chapter to the whole book, which is Tawheed, that when the person denies the Qadr, he is having good or bad opinion in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Iman in the Qadr is compulsory because it's one of the pillars of Iman. And Iman is to believe, as a hadith says, in Allah, His angels, His books and His prophets, and to believe also in the last day and the Qadr, the good of it and the bad of it, as we're going to explain inshallah. And for verily, you need to know that the Qadr first of all, it's 2 levels. Level 1 consists of 2, you could say, principles, and those 2 principles are before the thing is created, and then another that is another level, where there is another 2 principles that is matching the creation. So let me just explain what I said. The Qadr is of 2 levels. Level which is before the thing is to be coming in existence, and that is the knowledge of Allah. And the number 2 is the writing. Those 2, if any person does not believe in them, he's what? Kafir. He does not believe in Allah's knowledge, that Allah knows what is taking place. And he does not believe also after he has been told about the Kitab, the writing. He does not believe that Allah Azza wa Jal had whatever in His knowledge, not all of it. That is up to the day of Al-Qiyamah, that this knowledge of Allah is more than the Kitab, but this knowledge, which is the Qadr, is being written on the preserved tablet by the command of Allah. This is before the coming of anything in existence. You have to believe in these 2, otherwise you are a kafir. And the second one, the second level, is the other 2 principles, which they are first of all, Mashi'atullahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is the universal law. Allah Azza wa Jal, what He wills will take place, and what He does not will to take place, it will not take place. And what you will, it will not take place until Allah what? Wills. And the second principle in the second level is the khalq. That is the creation of the thing and its characteristics. And this creation is all of it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether the creation of the good or the creation of the evil. And the creation of the evil is from the creation of Allah, but it is not attributed to the Creator Himself. So when Allah creates evil, He's not evil. Whereas you, when you create evil and do evil, you are what? Evil. If you did evil deliberately, you're evil. But when Allah created that evil, Allah Azza wa Jal, we don't attribute to Him evilness. وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla does not create pure evil. He creates evil from one side, but it comes to be what? a good from the other side. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, he had doomed for those people who did not believe in him to be killed in different ways, whether they have been showered with stones, or they've been swallowed by the earth, or been drowned by the sea. Yet this is a lesson to be learned by the believers. So it's bad from one side to other people, and good to other people from the side. So you can say the good of it and the bad to what is to the person, not to what Allah. So the good to it, that means the good of to the person. That is, for example, he got a house or good money, whatever, that's good for him. And the bad for him, for example, when he falls into an accident or whatever, a crash or whatever, then it's bad for him. But good and bad is not attributed to Allah. Allah is always good in his creation when he creates. These two principles in the second level, which is after the creation, or it is matching the creation, that if you deny them, you're not a kafir. You are not a kafir. You are a person who is misguided. You're a person who is, because we have the Mu'tazila had denied the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal to the evil. They said Allah does not create evil, only creates good. So even though they did that, we don't say they are kafir. So but the Mu'tazila, the ones who are in the beginning, the Mu'tazila, the ones who are Ghulatul Mu'tazila, the extreme Mu'tazila, who had denied even the knowledge of Allah, they are kuffar. So again, Qadr of Allah is two levels. Each level has got two principles. First level is before the thing to come in existence. The second level is when the thing comes to existence. The ones before thing to come in existence, that is, number one, the knowledge, number two, the writing. These two, if anybody denies any one of them, he's a kafir, outside the fold of Islam. The other two that comes in the second level, which is with the creation itself. That means it's synchronizing with the time of creation, and that is the Mashiach of Allah and then the creation. Those two, if any person denies them, he's not a kafir, but it will negate the perfection of the Tawheed, and they are to be called misguided people who are not upon the truthness, that full truthfulness. From the people who deny the Qadr, the Jabriya. Al-Jabriya, the ones who say that the person is compelled, and this is su'u dhann in Allah Azza wa Jal, that you have a bad opinion, Allah compelled you to do what you're doing from the evil. How could He compel you? Allah gave you the choice. So Jabriya, the people who say that Allah did not give you a choice, and that's dhulm to Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why su'u dhann, bad opinion Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the Jabriya we have the Jahmiya. The Jahmiya is great Jabri, and also the Sufiya. The Sufiya, they say, for example, the movement of the people is like a feather in the wind. That means the person has got no control of what he's doing. Allah is controlling him, so he goes like this. It's like a feather in the wind. So this is the Sufiya, are also like the Jahmiya in that terms of believing in the creed, in the decree, and that is they are from the Jabriya. And also we said the Ash'ira comes into the Jabriya. So those are the Jabriya. Those are the Jabriya. The Qadariya is the opposite. They said that the person has got the free will, but at the same time, the free will of his, that he creates his own actions. It's not Allah creates it. He creates it. Nothing Allah to do with him. So I create, because they don't want to attribute evilness to Allah. Do you understand me? So we said, no, Allah created the evil and the good. He created the evil, and He's good when He created the evil, because He's got a hikmah, a wisdom. Right. After this, we come to the explanation of the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar. He says, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِ بِيَدِهِ, or الَّذِي نَفْسُ ibn Umar بِيَدِهِ, by the one in whose hand is the soul of Abdullah ibn Umar. If one of them is to spend as the mountain of Uhud in gold, that means in charity, sabilillah, Allah will not accept it from him. Why will Allah accept it from him? Because he did not believe in the Qadr. If he does not believe, that means a kafir. If he does not believe in the Qadr, because if a person, he had spent money in the sake of Allah and it's not accepted from him, then it's only kuffar whom Allah Azza wa Jalla does not accept. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even spoke about the hypocrites whom they are spending in the way of Allah. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, وَمَا مَنَعَهُمْ أَن تُقْبَلَ مِنْهُمْ نَفَقَاتُهُمْ إِلَّا أَنَّهُمْ كَفَرُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Because they have disbelieved in Allah and the Messenger, Allah did not accept their givings and their donations and their charities. Then He said, He cited what the Prophet ﷺ said. Abdullah ibn Umar, he was in the Kaaba, and when the people came to him to ask him about some people who had started this whole issue of qadr, and not to say that inna al-amala unuf, Verily, that the thing starts now. It was not being preordained before. So they said, Abdullah, what do you think of these people who said that the person creates what he does? There's no fate. Do you understand me? There's no fate. He creates what he does. That means there's no qadar before that. It's just now happening. So he said, for verily, those people, tell them that I got nothing to do with them. Nothing. أنا بريء منهم. And then he said the following words, by the one whose hand is the soul of Abdullah ibn Umar. If one of them to spend as mountain of Uhud in gold, then Allah will accept it for him until he believes in the qadar. So, and then he gave the proof of that. The Prophet ﷺ hadith, the iman is to believe in Allah, His angels. To believe in Allah, al-rububiyyah, al-uluhiyyah, al-asma' al-sifat. I'm not going to go through that because you have been given enough teaching regarding those three types of categories of Tawheed. Then to believe in the angels. To believe in the angels, to believe in the angels in the sake of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created them and they are sinless creatures. So to believe they're existing. You believe that they are having actions. They believe as well in their characteristics, and you believe in the names of those angels whom you know, like Jibreel, like Mikael, like Israfil, like the Munkar wa Nakir, like Ar-Ra'd, those angels, like Malik, Khazirun Nar. And you, from the characteristics of these angels, which we know from from Jibreel alayhi salam, got 600 wings and he filled up the horizon. Okay. Also to believe that the books here, that the books that they come, which we know, those books, and each messenger, Rasul, has been sent with a book. We have to believe that. Each messenger has been sent with a book. Shiehk, the heat is coming through to me. Still on, no? Still on. Is Jackie somebody's missus? Heat is coming to me. Don't like the heat. Very hot. Huh? Can I just ask for myself to go back, please? I want to go to the window. Because it's cold for you to. Can somebody just switch it off, the heater? Can you switch it off? We don't need heaters. The hot is really hot. I mean, I would like to teach from there next time. If it's possible, I could teach from the wall, because I don't like to have a heater behind me. You guys are cool, but I'm not. I'm very hot, Shiehk. I'm really hot. It's not really acceptable. Okay, I'm going to teach from there. Is that okay? Yes. So next time you could do it, inshallah. Because they have to switch off the heater. Can I just do it, please? Yeah, please. I'm dizzy. I'm getting dizzy. I don't like the heat. مش عارف بحب الحرارة. بحب الحرارة. لا هي ما شاء الله مثل حران زيك الجزائري حرارة ميك ما شاء الله لحالها. أنت مريض. اسمع أنت مريض يا أشرف. أنت مريض. جايز مريض. He is. You went to Saudi Arabia now? Now you know what is the coolness there. Yes, because you got the air conditioning, you know. These people bring them air conditioning. طيب خير إن شاء الله. طيب. Right, let's go to what we just said. I'm sorry about this, but I don't like the heat behind me. So if anybody wants the heat, you could go there. Inshallah, you'll feel me now saying different things, alhamdulillah, because I got no heat. Right, so the Abdullah ibn Umar, he had mentioned, we said, the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in that hadith that you have to believe in the following. Allah explained it, angels explained it, the books, we said the books. We to believe that some of the books, each messenger has a book. Some of those books we know them. Like we know, we're starting with Suhuf Ibrahim, okay, and also Suhuf Musa, and Torah for Musa. Got two, Suhuf Musa and Torah for Musa. And we got the Zabur, Dawood alayhi salam, and we got the Injil, which is for Isa alayhi salam, and we got the Furqan, the Quran, which was the last testament being sent onto the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have to believe in the following, that these books, they are now being abrogated by the last book, which is the Quran. So when the Injil came, abrogated the what? The Torah. And the Torah, when it came, abrogated the ones before it, like Suhuf Ibrahim. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when we came and the Quran was sent, it abrogates everything that before, because new Sharia. But all of them, they are coming, and this is the following belief, that is to believe in the prophets and the messengers. We know of them in name wise 25, but in terms of how many they are, well, 124,000. Prophet 314, which is maybe that last number is under sort of fluctuating whether it's authentic or not, but 124,000 prophets. As Muslim Imam Ahmad, Prophet he said, we only know 25, and we said that each prophet is a messenger. That means he delivers a message, but he's commanded to deliver the message, the prophet, to the people whom they have believed. Whereas the messenger is being commanded to deliver the message to who are outside his people, to the disbelievers. And this is you could say that, for me, the most correct difference between a prophet and a messenger. The most correct. Sorry? Okay. The difference between a prophet and a messenger, scholars have differed into three opinions. Opinion number one, not every prophet is a messenger, but every messenger is a prophet. Meaning that the prophet is being just a prophet, but he's not being commanded to convey. Where the messenger, he's the one to convey, and that's absolutely far from being truthful or haqq. Because how can he be a prophet and he knows knowledge and he's being commanded not to say anything? How can a person just dies with the knowledge with him and they're not allowed to say anything? That doesn't work, because it's a betrayal for a prophet that he has knowledge and not is allowed to convey to the people that what you are a batil or haqq. So it's not correct. Second opinion is that the messenger has a new sharia, whereas the prophet only conveys the sharia of the messenger before him. Okay, so the prophet, and that opinion where most of the scholars are upon, but it does not answer the following, which is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran regarding Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf, he says that he is a messenger, and according to that second definition, he will not fit for that, because Prophet Yusuf did not have new sets of laws. He was conveying what was being revealed onto his father Yaqub, onto his grandfather Ishaq, onto his great grandfather Ibrahim. So how can he be called a messenger? The only definition which Shaykh al-Islam Uthaymeen, he says the correct one, is the prophet is being commanded to deliver the message to his own people, not to the outsiders, where the Prophet, the messenger, the Rasul, is to be commanded to deliver the message to his own believers, to the ones who follow us, and to the one who's outsiders not following him. Right. Believe that they are human being, and then the last thing that to believe is what? Not the last thing, the last day. To believe in the last day. The last day, to believe in everything that the Prophet ﷺ told us about after we die, from the trials of the graves and from the barzakh life, the light of the grave, and also Jannah and hellfire on the trumpet will sound. All of that is from the last day. So to believe in those things like the bridge, the mizan, the pool, okay, and all of those that is being mentioned in Arasat Yawm al-Qiyamah. Then the last thing is to believe in the last day, al-Qada wal-Qadar, which is the Qadar here, the good of it and the bad of it. So it is part of your Iman to believe in the Qadar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why he had said, these people who don't believe in the Qadar, I got nothing to do with them. Now we're coming to the following hadith, if you don't mind.
Quoted by Ubayd bin Sabit.
It's Samit.
He said to his son, "O son, you'll never get the taste of Iman until and unless you realize that what has afflicted you was not to miss you, and what has missed you was not to afflict you." I heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, the first thing Allah created was the pen. He ordered it to write. It said, "My Lord, what shall I write?" He said, "Write down the destinies of all of the things until the establishment of the hour." O my son, I hear Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "Who dies believing something other than this does not belong to me." In a slightly different version by Ahmed, the first thing Allah created was the pen. He said to it, "Write." And in that very hour, all what was to occur was written until the day of resurrection. In another narration by Ibn Wahab, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever does not believe in Qadar, divine preordainment, whether good or bad, will be burned by Allah in the hellfire."
Right. All of that is to be authentic except the last narration, which is Ibn Wahab. Yet the meaning of it sound because it's in the following hadith, but in terms of that narration is unauthentic. The meaning of it is 100% sound because it's supported with the following hadith. So let's just go to the hadith of Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu anhu. Ubadah ibn Samit, he's saying to his son, "Ya bunay," a nice word of talking to your own son in order to capture his heart. "You will not find the sweetness of Iman until you know." And Ubadah ibn Samit is one of the companions of the Prophet of Allah. Not just any companion, he's a scholar from the companions. "You will not find the sweetness of Iman, son, until you know that what has asabak, got you. It will not to be missing you or miss you." Right. This has got two interpretations. Either that what, until you know what is being ordained for you to get it, it will not miss you, you will get it. Second meaning, that means that what got you already, it will never miss you. So either it's been ordained or got you, same thing. So there's two meanings. So again I say that you will not taste the sweetness of Iman until you know that what is Allah had predestined and ordained in His destiny, that you're going to get it. That thing, you will not miss it, you'll get it. Whether it is bad or good, you'll get it. And the second meaning is that what you already got, let's say that you got money, if you got it, that will not miss you. Or disaster, what you got it, you're going to miss you. Because you see, Ikhwani, Al-Qadar, the secret of Allah. And this is the thing that will make you settle. Secret. I don't know what's going to happen to me in the next 1 second. I don't know. So if I don't know, I'm relaxed because I don't know. No, I don't like a person to tell me when I'm going to die. Do you? Do you? You'll be dead before you die. True or not? Doctor said to you, you're going to die in 5 days. Definitely. Or if God, Allah, will disclose to you that when you're going to die, you're not going to be comfortable at all. That's the beauty of the Qadr. If you knew in the Qadr on the 5th of Rabi' al-Thani, or in the first day of Ramadan, okay, your son will die. If you knew that this is the Qadr, would you be happy? Sorry, this is your destiny. What are you going to do? Maybe you think, okay, I'll lock myself, me and my son, in a safe. You're going to get it. Because it says here, whatever is being ordained for you, you're going to what? Get it. So if I know this is the secret of Allah, I'm happy, khalas, relax. I'm relaxed. I'll be relaxed. I can't look at what Allah had prepared for me. Nobody can. Nobody can. And when the Prophet ﷺ, he stood up on the pulpit after Fajr, and he finished his khutbah until Maghrib, you know, his khutbah, MashaAllah, from Fajr until Maghrib. It's about 12 hours. Khutbah, come back, make prayer, khutbah, come back, make prayer, khutbah, make prayer. He talked about what? The major things, not everything in details. He didn't talk about, for example, there will be a class in Brixton at this time. Okay, he didn't talk about what? General things, what is going to be, for example, ups and downs, and you know. So in this story, he didn't speak about everything. And companion said, some of us memorized some, and some memorized more, and some of us memorized nothing. You know, companion, he said, some of them memorized more than the other. These are hadith al-fitan. He talked about the trials and the tribulation that will take place unto the ummah. But Allah's messenger doesn't know the absolute ghaib and everything in details. And Allah, he told him that if to say to them, if I know what is in ghaib, lastakthartu min al-khayr, I would have just asked for more good. Nobody knows the ghaib except for Allah Azza, and that's the beauty of it. So he says here to his son, why I'm just saying that to you. And then he said, وَمَا أَخْطَأَكَ, what had missed you, it will never get you. That means the two explanation, what has been ordained to miss you, you will not, it's not been ordained, you're going to get it, no matter what you do. Or what you have missed already, you can't get it. Let's say you prepared yourself to, for example, to be at the auction, to be at the auction and get, you know, this car, and you prepared yourself and you got plenty of money and you have studied that, let's say a car, you want to get it regardless. Okay, you come, all right, and then you want to get it, and somehow you came prepared. The owner of the car had pulled it away from the auction. Do you understand me? You prepared and you studied and everything. Sorry, I pulled it out from the auction because it's been already ordained. So no matter what, and if, for example, that you came there as well and you wanted to take the car regardless of how much, and you paid, and person said 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, khalas, 80,000. Then as soon as you want to get it, an explosion took place in that whole auction. Car is finished. Have you got it? You're not going to get it because it's been ordered. So that's, oh son, why? This is now, he's going to tell them, Jazakallah khairan for the bucket. Barakallah feek. That's khalas. You're forgiven for that heat. The proof is that it's good to tell to your son. Why? It's not just to say to him, do this, do that, haram to do this, haram to do that. No. Give him the proof. He will relax. So Ubadah ibn Samit is giving him the proof for two reasons. Number one, this is from the good nurturing, bringing up your child, is to teach him that we are people of the proof, Ahlul Dalil. I'm not saying to you something. Number two, to make him love the Prophet. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When he said, Qala Rasulullah, he loves the Prophet. So to say, because the Prophet ﷺ have heard him saying, Inna awwala ma khalaq Allah. First thing that Allah had created is the pen. Al-qalam. Now, there's a dispute among the scholars. Did Allah create the pen first, or it was the first thing that after the creation was said to him to say and write? But it's not the first creation, because it is the throne. Because this hadith says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He had ordained for everything to take place before He created the heavens and earth by what? 50,000 years, and His throne was above water. Do you understand that? So in this hadith, the throne is before the creation of what? The heaven and earth, say the hadith. Because He created the creation, because of heaven and earth. So from that whole creation is the pen. That's why the dispute. But the hadith is clear. It's really absolutely word-wise clear. And that's why the author, he's inclined to that opinion to say that the first creation is the pen before the throne. And so many scholars, they said, like Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi and Ibn Uthaymeen rahmatullah alayhi, he said that what? It is the throne. But it's not a big issue which one is first, in terms of that each one has got his own opinion and is being supported. What is a bigger opinion is to go and boycott one another. Brother, I'm going to have bala wa ra until you believe that the pen is the first thing, otherwise I'm not going to talk to you. That's not what you're talking about. What is it then? This is ikhtilaf and it's ijtihad. I'm following the scholars who say that the first thing, which is Shiehk al-Albani rahmatullah alayhi and others, and is the scholar himself, alhamdulillah, that the first thing that Allah created is the pen. He said to him, write. So the pen has sense, understand, because Allah Azza wa Jal gives him that sense, just like He will give the sense to the Quran to intercede on your behalf on the day of resurrection, and He will give the sense to Ramadan, to the Siyam, to speak out on your behalf. He'll speak out. Write. He said, Lord, what should I write? He said, write the maqadir, the destiny of everything, everything, until the day of resurrection. Another narration, it says here, the first thing that Allah created is the pen. He said to him, write. So the pen wrote. So the pen what? Wrote. In that time when He commanded it, until the day of Al-Qiyamah. So the writing was on the preserved tablet. That preserved tablet, Allahu A'lam how big it is. And in it is not the general writing, it's the detailed qadr. Do you understand me? There's a difference among the scholars as well. What is the general? No, it's the detailed. Everything is in the preserved tablet. So the pen wrote by the command of Allah. Does the pen know the ghaib? No. Allah is dictating the pen. It's not the pen, when He said to him, write, He started writing on his own, by itself, what is going to be happening, and He decides what's going to happen. He wrote on the command of whom? Allah. Allah told him what to write. So He wrote, maqadir. He doesn't know the ghaib, the qalam. The third narration, which is the Prophet ﷺ, he said, he who does not believe in the qadr, khayrihi wa sharrih, ahraqahu Allahu bin nar, Allah will burn him in hell. That narration, as we said, is not authentic, but the meaning of it sound, as we're going to explain the hadith of Ibn al-Daylami in a minute, inshallah. Right. He said at the end, Ya bunay, my dear son, sami'tu Rasulullah sallam, Prophet sallam, man mata ala ghayri hada, who dies upon other than that, falaysa minni, he's not from me, and here falaysa minni is a kafir. He's what? Because the Prophet Allah, he mentioned the word falaysa minni in another hadith, which doesn't mean a kafir. فَمَنْ رَغِبَ عَنْ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي, who does not take my sunnah, my path, then he's not from me. And he said it regarding those people who had made extra ibadah, did not sleep the night, all that praying. One of them, he did not marry out of celibacy, and the third one, he kept fasting without breaking his fast. They're not kuffar, definitely. But they are mubtadi'ah. So they're not, from me in that hadith, it means what? They're not upon my sunnah. But here it does not mean me, is a kafir. Is a kafir. Right. Coming to the last hadith, please.
It is reported in Musnad Ahmad and Sunan Abi Dawud on the authority of Ibn Uthaymeen, and he said, I went to Ubay bin Ka'b radiallahu anhu, and I said to him, there is something within me, doubt, regarding Al-Qadr. Please narrate to me something that perhaps by it, Allah will take it, which is a doubt, from my heart. He said, even if you spend gold equal to the weight of Uhud mountain, Allah will not accept it until you believe in Qadar. I know that what has afflicted you was not to miss you, and what has missed you was not to afflict you. And if you die believing something other than this, then you are one of the people of hellfire. I then went to Abdullah bin Mas'ud and Hudayfa bin al-Yaman and Zayd bin Thabit and they all reported something similar from the Prophet ﷺ. The above quoted hadith is Sahih, and Hakim reports it in his
Al-Hakim. Alright, this hadith is authentic, walhamdulillah, and it's from Ubay ibn Ka'b, nothing to do with the Prophet, but it's supported by the hadith which was mentioned before by Abdullah ibn Umar. The Prophet of Allah said that. And the hadith that Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said when the Prophet of Allah called him, Ya ghulam, inni u'allimuka kalimat, I teach you words. Ihfadillah yahfadhk, ihfadillah tajidhu tujahak. So this hadith, which was from the Prophet of Allah, supports all of these sayings of the companions. The companion, for example, that we have said, Abad ibn Samit talking to his son. And then he said, I've heard the Prophet of Allah ﷺ, he said. And this one, Ubay ibn Ka'b, for verily he said something which is based upon what the Prophet of Allah had said. It's word for word. He said, this man, he said, I came to Ubay ibn Ka'b and I said to him, I got something in myself regarding the qadr. He did not mention it because he doesn't want to confuse you. You know, he doesn't want to mention what is in himself regarding the qadr. He might put doubtful things into your mind. He said, got something that regarding the qadr. He, like, for example, he's not relaxed. And every time you got something regarding shubuha in your heart, the best person you go to is the doctor of the heart, not the physician. I'm talking about the knowledgeable person. Ask him. He'll give you an answer, you will relax. Khalas. And that's why Ibn al-Qayyim, whenever he's got something that would bother him, he would go to Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah. He's a doctor. And he's relaxed. He gives him that. He gives him something to clean his heart. No shubuha. And he said to him, a nasiha, Ibn Qayyim, I've never been gaining any benefit from any nasiha more than the benefit I gained from the words of my Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah when he said to him, make your heart like a mirror. Don't make your heart like a sponge. For verily, the sponge, when something falls into it, it sucks it. But the mirror is the one that reflects anything comes onto it with the same power. And that's when he said, I have benefited from that. So any shubuha comes to the heart, I got a mirror there, boom, bouncing it back. Not a sponge, tick, will take it in. So the mirror, it represents purity, pristine, to present as well power, present reflection. Okay? And the Prophet of Allah, he said, the Muslim should be to the another Muslim, mir'ah. The mu'min, to the mu'min is what? A mirror. He said a mirror, not a sponge. It's a mirror to reflect him. So he came to him and something inside me bothering me about the qadr. And you know that the Prophet of Allah, when they came to the companions and they were chit-chatting, what are you arguing about? They said, Messenger of the qadr. It's like a pomegranate being exploded in his face, you know, gone really red. You know pomegranate? Really red. كأنما فقئ الرمان أو حب الرمان في وجهه. Really red. So, are you being sent with this to argue regarding the qadr? For verily, al-qadaru sirru min asrarillah. The qadr is one of the secrets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he said that three things, if they've been said, hold. One of them is what? Al-qadr. If the qadr is mentioned, don't start indulging into how can it be that I have been doing this and I've done that. Because you start saying, you know, if you have taken your children in a car and you went to such and such place and a car came from somewhere, crashed into you and killed your children and still alive. Don't say, oh, if I didn't really go out, this will never happen. A'udhu billah. You remember we talked about the law, taftahu bab al-shaytan. This is something being ordained, akhi. No matter what you do, it's been written. This is the beauty of the qadar. You know, khalas, qadarullah. You say qadarullah. Because you were doing something which you did not, for example, carry them in that car in order to get that car to crash into you and kill them, did you? But we don't say to the person who goes on top of the cliff and throws himself, qadarullah. Yes, qadarullah it is. But you are the one who chose to kill yourself. That person did not choose for his children to kill them. He just went in a car, and then one of the children, for example, went by a lake, and his child was with him, and one of the children jumped into the lake and drowned. It's not your fault, akhi. This is qadarullah. So you put the blame on the qadar. Qadarullah azza wa jal. طيب. So where are we now? He said to him the same thing, and then he said, if you die upon other than that, you would have been from the people of the far. That's why I said the first one, which just the hadith before that, is not authentic, but it's been supported by the saying of Ubay ibn Ka'b. If you don't believe in that, you will be from the people of the far, because you're kafir. So he said, I came to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, another scholar from the companions, Hudayf ibn Yaman, another scholar from the companions, Zayd ibn Thabit, another scholar from the companions. So no harm to go to more scholars, as long as you seek what? Uthaymeen. What is Uthaymeen? More assurance. It's not you seeking to fish in the dirty water. You know the fish in the dirty water? You're trying to get a word from them so you could put conflict between them scholars and between the people who follow. You're not doing it for the sake of Allah. You're doing it just to create problems. And some people do that. And sometimes, if he gets the same answer, he's not happy. So he starts to twist the question in order to get what? A different answer. And he said, look, the Shaykh said this and the Shaykh said this. Do you understand me? Because he wants to go with his own whims and desire. A'udhu billah. This is shaitan. This is really from the Satan actions. Don't do that. So he went for more than, and all of them, they said the same thing from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By this, alhamdulillah, we finish the chapter and we go to the issues, please.
Important issues of the chapter. Number 1, explanation of the obligation to believe in al-qadar.
I can't explain it more than that. Number 2.
Number 2, explanation of how to believe regarding it.
That means you believe whatever had got you, it will not miss you. Or whatever is being to miss you, you will not get it. Or it's been ordained that you get it. You're not gonna get it. It will, if something you've been ordained to get you, it will not miss you. And something has been ordained to miss you, it will not get you. Do you understand that? Both meanings are correct. Third one.
Number 3, uselessness of the deeds of one who does not believe in it.
Because he said if you spend the mountain of Uhud in gold, for the sake of Allah, it will not be accepted until you believe in the qadar. Number 4.
Number 4, no one can get the sweetness of Iman unless he believes in qadar.
Sweetness of Iman can gain by a number of things. Prophet ﷺ said, ثلاث من كن فيه وجد بهن حلاوة الإيمان. 3 things, if you got them, then you'll find the sweetness of the Iman. They are أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. The love of Allah and His Messenger more than Allah's Messenger's love in his heart more than anybody else. You love Allah and His Messenger more than anybody else. And يحب المرء لا يحبه إلا لله. To love the person nothing for nothing except for the sake of Allah. Not because it's the same color, the same language, the same country. Third one, أن يكره أن يرجع على الكفر بعد أن أنقذه الله منه كما يكره أن يقذف في النار. To hate truly, to go back to disbelief, to go back to bid'ah after Allah had saved you from it, just like you hate to be thrown in the fire. If you got these 3 things, you got the sweetness of Iman. Number 4.
Number 5.
Oh, number 5, sorry.
A mention of what Allah created first.
Dispute, we said, and we believe it's the pen. Some scholars, they said it is the what? The throne. Arsh. Number 6.
Number 6, that the pen wrote down all the events to take place till the last day.
Right, so that all the destinies being written from the beginning until the last day, which is the day of resurrection. Number 7.
Number 7, the Prophet's disapproval of whoever does not have belief in Qadar.
It's not disapproval, he's got not, he's dissociated himself. That means he is not from him, this is absolute dissociation. It means he's a kafir. Number 8.
Number 8, the habit of the pious predecessors to refer the matter to scholars to clear any doubts.
Because Ibn Daylami, he went to Abdullah Mas'ud, Hudayr al-Yaman, Zayd ibn Thabit, all scholars after he had asked Ubay ibn Ka'b. Number 9.
Number 9, the scholars of Islam answered with what cleared all doubts regarding Qadar by only giving reference to the statements of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
What better than just referring to the Prophet instead of referring to Shafi'i said, Imam Malik said, oh ya akhi, قال Allah, قال رسوله. That's the best. And clear the matters by which, well, alhamdulillah, we've finished. Coming to chapter 61, Majaa al-Musawwirin. Go ahead.
Chapter number 61. What is the punishment for picture makers? Abu Hurairah narrated that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah said, who would be more unjust than the one who tries to create the like of my creatures? Let them create an atom, or let them create a grain, or let them create a body core. Al-Bukhari, Muslim.
Right. Right. This is the chapter regarding the Musawwirin. It's a very good, important chapter. And the Musawwir is the one who makes a figure, whether it is the shape of a human being or an animal, or in even the shape of a plant, shape of rocks, shape of inanimates, lifeless, shape of the heavens, the shape of everything. This is called Musawwir. So in the Arabic language, called Musawwir. As for the ruling of that, we'll come to it. This is the taswir, means to make an image. To make an image. The chapter says, Bab ma ja'a fi musawwir, is like a threat, warning. What is being revealed regarding those who make images. There's a warning, threat here. And the link between the title and the Tawheed, which is the whole book is all about Tawheed and monotheism, is that the person is not to be making a rival to Allah Azza wa Jal. Can't make a rival to Allah Azza wa Jal. So this person, when he's making an image, he's falling into the following thing, which is he's making an image that he is imitating the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though no matter how perfection he does in his image, he will not match the what? The creation of Allah, because the creation of Allah is the ultimate. No one can create regardless. So the first thing that makes it this to be linked to the Tawheed, which is the negation by making something similar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. That's number one. So number one is that you are competing, that's the word, with the creation of Allah. Number two is that the making of image is, in it there is a way or a means to shirk in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again the link of this chapter to the Tawheed is from two angles. First angle, that competing with the creation of Allah. Second angle is that it will lead to what? To shirk. It will lead to shirk. Right. Now he comes here, Abu Hurairah narrates, radiyallahu anhu wa arda, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, قال الله تعالى. Allah said. That means the hadith Qudsi. And we have said a number of times, what is the difference between hadith Qudsi and the hadith which is not the Qudsi? For the hadith Qudsi, at least it says قال Allah. But it's not a Quran. And it's not to be recited. And it hasn't got the same as the Quran. Each letter is worth 10 hasana. He says قال Allah. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ ذَهَبَ يَخْلِقُ كَخَلْقِ. Who is more of a zalim, wrongdoer, than the one who is creating like my creation? فَلْيَخْلُقُوا ذَرَّةً. Let them create ذَرَّة. What is it? An ant.
An atom.
Dharra could be two meanings. Atom or an ant. And could be both. So dharra. So dharr is the plural of the dharra, which is namlat, naml. Or an atom, which is a small thing. أو ليخلقوا حبة. Let them created what? Seed. Is a seed, he said?
Grain.
Grain. Seed. حبة. Grain. Or ليخلقوا شعير, which is barley. Barley. Barley what?
Barley corn.
Barley. Barley corn. Corn is different from barley. I don't understand that. Doesn't make sense to me. Even those who create artificial rice or artificial barley or artificial corn, ask them, can you grow that up? Can you? They can't. They create it, but if you put it in the land, it does not what? Grow. Because it hasn't got the secret of what? Of life. It hasn't. The artificial ones, it doesn't. You know the bit about China made artificial eggs, made artificial, you know? No, it's all of it unhealthy. It's not natural. Have you heard about the square watermelon? Watermelon is supposed to be, rounded. This was a square one. So they make it grow into like a square tin. They want to, and the people buy it as a stupidity of theirs. And it proves as well it's not really as healthy because it's not being given the freedom. Subhanallah. طيب. Let them create those creation. They will not be able. So in this hadith, basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is challenging those. Let them. That means you're not going to be able to create because Allah has a secret of life which is had put in this creation. Mujahid from the Salaf, from this hadith, he said that when he said the Prophet of Allah, لِيَخْلُقُوا حَبَّةً, let them create a seed, whether it's a barley or grain or corn, then even that to draw it is haram. Do you understand me? Even to draw a seed or barley is haram. Mujahid said. But the Jumhur, most of the scholars, even from those who are from the companions, most of them they say that it's actually whatever is got the ruh. What is the ruh? The ruh is the hadith which is going to be mentioned after that. I'm likely pleased to mention the following hadith.
They also reported from Aisha radiallahu anha that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the people who will receive the severest punishment on the day of resurrection will be those who try to make the life of Allah's creation.
And the one after?
Also reported by them from Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, that I heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say, all the picture makers will be in the fire of hell. A soul will be breathed in every picture prepared by him, and it shall punish him in the hell.
And last one.
It is additionally narrated from Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu that
No, not Abbas. Ibn Abbas from both. From both. Not from Abbas. Abbas and Aisha. It's supposed to be both. This is wrong.
Hadith,
Yes, from them. From Abbas and from them. Yes. From both of them. Yeah.
whoever makes a picture in this world will be charged with putting a soul in it, and he will never be able to do it.
Last one is the knockout. So it basically, they will be asked to put what? A soul. So the barley seed hasn't got no soul. So the one that you create an image of something that has a soul, you will be asked about what? A soul in it. So the ones that we are not allowed to draw or make an image of is the animals or human being. Those are the two creation of Allah that takes the soul. Right. Now, this chapter, it needs more explanation. And as we're coming now to 9 o'clock, we'll stop here and give you time for questions and answers. And prepare your question, because I know that you've got lots of questions regarding images and all of that. But don't ask me now, please. About pictures and all of that. Bye. Fadal.
A lot of the garments you wear this day and age, they contain images of a living thing. what is the limit? Like, where?
You just said to you, the first thing I said, don't ask me, and you already asked me.
Oh, sorry,
Because this is the explanation of the following in that chapter. That chapter, I made a start for it, and I've narrated the hadiths, which is all of it been by Aisha and Ibn Abbas. Still another hadith is going to come, but that will be explained as well in due course regarding those patterns and those toys as well for the children, and those pictures that police captures for you, and passport pictures, and I'm in the picnic picture, and Fadal.
If you make dua for someone and then that action comes true, can they associate the...
If you make tawaf,
If you make a dua,
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 there's a tawaf.
and that action comes true, or that comes true, can they associate the qadr with your dua, or could it be something else still?
If somebody made a dua to somebody and that dua was fulfilled, can we associate the qadr of that is to do dua? You could say, well, insha'Allah, that the dua had been helped, but I'm just saying, to say just because of that dua, that thing took place, I'm really worried about that person. He might start charging people for this dua. My dua is accepted. Look, brother, I just made dua and it's been fulfilled. £50, not guarantee. £100, I'll give you guarantee. And these people, they do that. They go to, and he said, one of them, he just told me, he said, I went to XYZ country, and I saw him, he said, 25 rupees, no guarantee. 50 rupees guarantee. And that his time was a long time ago, of course. Tafadhal. No problem, as long as you don't really. If your question is if I'm going to ask my Imam Masjid about something, and then I ask senior scholars regarding the same matter, if you had the option to see the scholars before you see the Imam, then I would not really recommend for you to ask the Imam before these scholars. But if those scholars just came without you being expecting them to come, and you want to ask him, and if that question of yours was, between you and him, it was not openly, so you could ask the scholars openly so that everybody can benefit. But if you ask the Imam openly, and then you're going to ask the scholars openly, what have you done to the Imam? I don't think Imam would like you. I don't think you have, strengthened the bond between you and him, because you are putting him down. So if you asked him openly, then you ask the scholars between you and them. If you do not ask him openly, then you could ask the scholars openly. So it doesn't matter, because he only had said that to you, nobody else. So no problem, inshallah. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. And you could tell the Imam himself to correct himself. But there are some things that got two opinions, akhi. So maybe that Imam is adopting something other than these scholars, because don't think that those scholars have got the what? The clear cut. No, it could be, this or that. Nah. Got a very big helicopter. No, leave it on, please. Leave it on. I like it. Okay. How can it be that everything is being on the qadar, yet we have in the light, everything is being set in the qadar. Qadar means the decree, yet we have in the night of al-qadar that the things being set for the year. Very simple, okay? First of all, we didn't talk about the writings in details. The writing, when we said the writing, because there's a writing, daily writing, there's a yearly writing, and there is the general absolute writing, which is of the preserved tablet. For verily, everything's been set in the preserved tablet, but in the qadar, Laylatul Qadar, the year, which is like the coming, is being dispatched to those angels who are assigned to those particular things. So if you could be to die in that year, that angel of death will only know on the night of Al-Qadr when you're going to die. Do you understand that? So it is a yearly, writing, just like the writing in the womb. It's already been written that what you want to be. But there's a second writing in the womb where the angel himself will know whether you're going to be good or bad, because he will tell him good or bad and how old he is. That's been written by that angel who knows it. Okay? Now, you understood that? Clear now? طيب تفضل.
You mentioned three things hot.
Huh?
You did mention that there are three things that hot.
Horse?
Hot. For example,
Hot?
Not hot. Hot.
Huh?
Other is one of them.
Hold.
Yeah,
Okay.
is one of them.
Sorry.
I just want to know the remaining
Yeah. When the three things are mentioned, you hold. First one is qadar. Second one is the stars, no astrology. Hold. And my companions, the third one. If my companion is mentioned in anything bad, hold. That's this companion, this companion, that. Uthman radiallahu anh, he had employed his own relatives in the when he was the Khalifa. Hold, akhi. What are you saying now? And Uthman is gonna give sort of like sort of more to his family than the others, and put people who were from his family in positions in the state on the expense of expelling somebody who deserves it. A'udhu billah. We fear Allah, because you're gonna end up saying Uthman is a zalim. Naam. Hang on a second. I lost.
And the one that denies punishment of the grave.
The one denies the punishment of the grave.
What's the ruling on the person?
If any person comes to you and deny the punishment of the grave, you say, well, tomorrow you die and then you'll taste it. Tomorrow you'll die and you'll taste it. And this is not my reply. This is a reply of Shiehk ibn Rahaway. Somebody came to him, somebody denies, the punishment of the grave. He said, tomorrow you'll die and then you'll taste it. And because some people, you can't really argue with them. The punishment of the grave exists. إن الأبرار لفي إن الأبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي فجار. Abrar, they are in delight, and Fujjar, evildoers, are in agony, hell. Ibn al-Qayyim said, don't you ever think that when Allah says كلا إن الأبرار لفي نعيم, verily that the Abrar are in delight, you think they are in delight only in the Jannah? No, they are delight in dunya, and they delight in the barzakh, and they delight in the Jannah. And don't you ever think when Allah says that the evildoers are in agony in hell, only in hell? No, they are in hell in the dunya, and they are in hell in the barzakh, and they are in hell in the hellfire. Do you understand that? In the dunya, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. He is away from my remembrance, he's going to have a hell life. Life of hell. He's not happy. Allah, he's not happy. Ask them. He's not happy. That's why he keeps busy himself in the dunya. He works 24/7 because he has to keep his mind. If he's not working, he has to sleep. If he is awake and he's not working, he has to drink. To be sleep. And a different type of sleep, of course. He can't, because if he sits down, he's going to be empty in his soul. That's when he commits suicide. No one knows the happiness that the believer passes except for a believer himself. If you're a believer, you know the happiness I'm talking about. Regardless of what takes place in your life, it's Qadarullah Azza wa Jal. Alhamdulillah, Qadarullah. You laugh at it. Qadarullah. You laugh at it. Qadarullah. I'm not saying laugh when your son dies. Qadarullah. But you're relaxed. You have crying. True or not is. So I'm saying that the person would be relaxed. And as Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, he said, if the leaders knew what happiness that you live in, they will fight you for it. If the leaders knew that the happy that you are experiencing, they will لَجَلَدُوكُمْ بِالسُّيُوفِ, they will fight you for it. Give me the happiness. Where do you get it? Happiness of a believer, settled. Happy. When it's قال Allah, قال Rasulullah, dhikr of Allah, alhamdulillah, prayer, alhamdulillah. Don't you ever think that any person, like he has to have 24 hours, 7, for example, ibadah? No, akhi. لا تنسى نصيبك من الدنيا. Don't forget your portion from the dunya. The dunya is there for you. So you eat kebab and dal and all of that, no problem. This is dunya, alhamdulillah, enjoy it, but in the halal way. So it's not really 24/7. The Prophet ﷺ, he had a companion, and this companion, his name is Hamdallah, and he went to a house of his after he met the Prophet of Allah, And he started playing with the children of the wife. And then he said, hang on a second, I am a munafiq. I'm a hypocrite. I came to the Prophet ﷺ circle. قال Allah, قال Rasulullah, hellfire, paradise. Come to the house, jump up and down with the children. This is hypocrisy. So he came from the house like a crazy person. Nafaqa Hamdala, Nafaqa. Hamdala is a hypocrite, Hamdala is a hypocrite. Crazy person coming out of the house. Till Abu Bakr met him. What's wrong? He said, we go to the Prophet of Allah, hellfire, paradise, mashallah. It's like when you drive on the road, when you see the police, you drive, nice. And there's no like me. So when we were the Prophet of Allah, Jannah, hellfire, when we were children up and down, he said, you know something, I am a hypocrite as well. Abu Bakr said, I'm a hypocrite as well. Because I do the same thing. Let's go to the Prophet of Allah. So they told the Prophet of Allah, so he looked at them, he said, if you go out just like what you are with me, that means the rest of your time, just like what you are with me, the angels would shake your hands in the roads. That means it's impossible is going to take place. The angel will come and say, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Jibreel. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Mikael. Assalamu alaikum. They'll shake your hands, which is impossible, akhi. And then he said, Sa'a wa sa'a. 1 hour, 1 hour that means for the deen, and 1 hour for the deen, but in a different way. Dunya, which is your deen as well. Allah's messenger, he said, قال الله إن الله خلق المال. Allah, he said, خلقت المال للصلاة وللزكاة. I have created money for what? For salah and zakah, the money. So the money that you earn is for your prayer, for your zakah. You didn't create it for anything else. So I have to have my portion. So sa'a wa sa'a. Some people interpreted this wrongly, not the scholars. Sa'a rabbak wa sa'a al-qalbak. 1 hour for your Lord and 1 hour for your heart. So you could start now dancing, listening to music, and no, akhi. Digest your laugh, ya Billah. Yeah. Do you understand me? Sa'a rabbak wa sa'a al-qalbak. So he said, I'm dancing, brother. You see, hamdallah, hamdallah. He said, sa'a, sa'a. Prophet said to him, 1 hour, 1 hour. So 1 hour I'm with Quran and 2 hour I'm dancing. Doesn't mean that. Sa'a, that means I'm not really to the Quran, the Sunnah. I'm not really fasting. I'm just doing my thing, which is to do with dunya. And at the same time, my intention is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Last question, please. You've asked a question. Fadl. Yani wallahi, I can't hear a word. Sorry. Yeah, go on. It's the helicopter, remember? No.
You mentioned 2 points in relation to tasbih. One was negating the creation of Allah.
And then lead into shirk.
Can we say the first point is minor shirk?
Can we say that the first one, that is making the creation, imitating the creation, the minor shirk, it could be minor, it could be major. That will be explained inshallah next week. It could be major. Because if you created an image, like a statue, which represents Buddha, kufr akbar, a god to be worshipped, as kufr akbar. But if you've done it, like these people, give me a picture, me, that is something else. We're going to talk about it. Do you understand me? So it could be kufr akbar and it could be not. Nah. Fadal, last question. Shakur, you want a question?
No.
Fadal.
Does fostering children in the UK has to fulfill the condition of fostering children in Islam or adopting?
Does the fostering of the children in the UK
Fulfill the conditions in Islam?
fulfill I'm just trying, what is the fostering in children in UK? How do they do it? Well, you could foster, that means it's called in Arabic kafala. Kafirul yatim. You want to look after an orphan. Now, first of all, if the law does not impose upon you to change his name to give it to yourself, the name stays as a name. Do they impose upon you to carry the name? No, that's number one. Number two, you have to make sure that this individual, whether it's a male or female, what's going to happen later on. Because if you adopt him, first of all, that you need to make sure that if he's a boy, okay, then he's going to drink milk from your wife. Otherwise, if he grows up and he did not have milk, he's a stranger. He cannot be with your wife. It's going to be, you know, a dilemma. Maybe you're going to hire him a flat, no problem. He cannot be with your wife. But if he drank from her milk, alhamdulillah, you'll be his father, she'll be his mother, and everything will be happy, and the sisters will be together, and his brother from fostering. Same thing with the girl. So the girl, she grown up, she could be with your wife, but she can't be with you if she's not drinking from the milk. And also there will be, you know, boys there. If she doesn't from the milk, then that boy will might fornicate with her. So I have to really make sure as well. So kafala, yes, inshallah, you are aiming for the kafala. You're not aiming for the money that the country is going to give you because of that fostering, because they have money, you know. And then you start, oh, I'm using part of that money for myself. So you're aiming for the kafala, not aiming for, okay, the money that you're going to get and the facility you're going to get. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Subhanak Allah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I'm happy.